all I've got is pushing forward and pushing up. Now if we get to 0 battery, we should have about 20 seconds left before it actually drops out the sky. So we're just going to fly out to whatever altitude feels alright. Check the wind app here, and it's a pretty calm night. I'd say we've got a wind speed of about 5 to 6 miles an hour. I'll maybe click it up on the screen just there if I remember. So we're just going to do a mini range test. I've got a couple of spotters stood out there tonight. There's a couple of roads I'm going to go over, and they're just going to look out for it. Test is tonight. It's the day in the life of the Parayagi, again, part 2. In that earlier test, or the previous video we did, we got out to a couple of thousand meters, no problem, and there was a bit of wind. Now it's just starting to get dark. I'd say it's about 20 past 9 in summer, and we're just going to fly out to a reasonable altitude. I think there is a little bit of wind behind the drone on the way out, but nothing that's going to hamper us on the way back too much. And we're just going to fly across these fields and just see what kind of range we can get. I haven't flown this area before, but I have checked it out on Google Earth. I've had a quick look for, or an in-depth look actually, for turbines and pylons and properties. And I think we've got a pretty straight run, maybe in between a couple of properties for a good 4K here. But yeah, I've got a couple of spotters on the way, which on the roads above, the roads ahead, sorry. So yeah, as you can see, we're just into the flight there now. We've been flying for almost 2.5 minutes. We're 1300 meters in, 89% battery left. We took off on about 97% battery just for a bit of compass calibration at the beginning, but that was pretty normal. I've got it set on auto. Like I said, the night is starting to come a little bit, and the lighting environment is quite dark, but we can still fly in this, no problems whatsoever. So we're just going to keep the altitude to somewhere pretty reasonable. Sorry if there's a bit of background noise. I am stood about 30 metres away from a sort of a country road here, so you might hear a car going past from time to time. So yeah, it's telling me the lighting environment's quite dark there, but I don't think we need to turn the exposure up quite yet. So I've got a spotter on that road there coming up, just on the left. That's fine. And then we're just going to keep going over in that same direction there. Like I say, we have got a little bit of wind behind us, nothing that's going to hamper us too much on the way back. Maybe a couple of mile-an-hour winds, but we're not going to go out to a point where we're going to absolutely hammer it. Again, it's just one of these tests just to show you the day in the life of the Parayagi, what you can expect to get in normal conditions. When I say normal conditions, I don't mean 100% battery, I mean 97% battery. A little bit of wind, it's a little bit dark, it's not quite perfect, but we're just going to go out in a straight line and see what we can get. Now, I'm just going to avoid that property there just so we don't get any signal breakup, because there's some of these farms, there you go, look, as soon as you get near it, as soon as I said it, some of these farms, their Wi-Fi is, it's got a huge extension on them. I assume obviously so they can cover the land. But yeah, I'm probably not going to go too far out because I can actually feel a bit of rain on the back of my neck, or that's what it feels like. We're comfortably getting up to 3,000 meters there almost. We've still got 79% battery. To get to this current position, it's took us 4.5 minutes in flight time. We've got enough 16 minutes of battery left, or 60 minutes of flight time left, and 78% battery, and we've just passed the 3,000 meter mark. No issues whatsoever. We have a 1 week signal, but that is not to do with the Parayagis. I suppose it is in a way, but it's more to do with the fact that when you go past someone's property, you'll always get that because the Wi-Fi is absolutely huge on some of these properties. So we'll take it out a little bit further, just to see that we can comfortably get a nice distance to these Parayagis. As you can see from the video there, still nice and smooth, no issues. 3,500 metres coming up. I'd say there looks like there's a, I don't know whether that's a little village coming up or just a field. I think we'll just take the altitude up just a little bit further. Can have a bit of a look here. It looks like it's someone's property, so we're just going to scoot over a little bit there, over that way, and just avoid that. I think I have passed over that house before, and they have got strong Wi-Fi there as well. So 3,850 metres there. We'll just cancel that. We've still got 72% battery left. I'm still happy. Just approaching 4,000 metres. Video's still looking fairly good. I'd say, look at that signal dropping out when you go past somebody's property. So it just goes to show where that interference comes from. Signals come back in again. Yeah, get a little bit choppy, I'd say there. But we'll just raise the altitude up. Maybe a little bit just to combat that. Get to 4,500 and then we'll turn around and come back. So just that main road there. Just reached 4,500 metres. There we go. So that's fine. Signal started to drop out there a little bit. So we'll let the return to home. Make sure the drone's coming back in the right direction. Now we know that's coming back in a nice straight line now. Even if we do lose signal on the way back, that's not an issue. 1,100 metres away and we've got 16% battery. So unfortunately on the way back there's a bit of a headwind. But I don't know, I'm pretty confident I should make it. Those two trees that you can see there in front of me just coming up. There's these two I'm going to pass through. So there's that one there and that one. If I fly through to the centre of those two, home should be there. So what's that? 800 metres left and 13%. You can't tell from this, but if I turn this down, you can see it's pretty dark. In fact, that's how dark it is. But obviously we're just turning it up a little bit so we can see what's going on. The light has dropped dramatically in the last 10 minutes doing this flight. I think I'm just going to have to go up a little bit just to avoid that tree. We might actually get back. There you go, I'm just in the corner of that field over there, hopefully. The other side of that field, right over there where the centre of the screen is. So hopefully I should get back just by the looks of it. So that's what you get if you take it out to 4,500 metres with 97% battery with the wind behind you. When you come back, but I mean, considering I'm in sport mode, I'm only getting, what's that, 6 metres per second now. And I think we'll just bring the altitude down now and I've passed over that tree. Just hoping I don't have to ditch it. I don't know, I should make it, pretty confident. Bring it down a little bit further, I think, maybe. That should be alright, 6% left. So, this is where it tries to land. This is where we don't want it to land in the field. So, if any of you tried this, basically when it gets to 5%, it's now going to go to land wherever it is. Now, the only control you've got is it'll return to home still. Actually, it won't return to home because that's cancelled now. All I've got is pushing forward and pushing up. Now, if we get to 0 battery, we should have about 20 seconds left before it actually drops out the sky. You can see me stood in the corner there. What's that? 100 metres left. 2% battery. Here I am. Yee! 10 metres in 8. Don't land yet. So there you go, boys and girls. That's what happens when you come back on zero battery. It just ditched in the field. As you can see, yeah, these are the Parayagis. They got us out to 4,500 meters tonight. Beautiful little bit of kit. I can't suggest them enough. As you can see from this here, before it actually dies, we're still on, we're still recording even though it's on zero. Yeah, there we go, 4,500 meters, and it's actually clicked up now for me to find my drone. So yeah, I don't know, it's absolutely spot on. Zero battery, and it ditched in that bit of corn there. That's as close as I've ever done it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.